Hello and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today we're going to be talking about the White Worldbridger wave spell. And yes, that is some beautiful alliteration we have going on there. This wave spell, which is the next 13-day segment of time in the galactic calendar, in galactic time, begins on November 5th, so the day after that powerful new moon in Scorpio, and it ends on November 17th, right before we have the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. So really interesting how it picks up right after the new moon ends and goes right up until the full moon. So we have this beautiful period of time here, and this is really perfect as we're working with these energies of Scorpio as well. Because this wave spell is all about death, right? It's all about death, equalization, and opportunity. So we're really looking at and understanding the concept of death, right? Literally and metaphorically. We're working with the power of our ancestors, right? Coming out of that Day of the Dead, the Samhain, all of those energies, right? And then moving into this very scorpionic, very in tune with the season that we're in right now. And we're walking between worlds. This is very much that energy of seeing and experiencing things beyond the veil, beyond the typical level of human perception. And it's about knowing and understanding and seeing death as an opportunity, right? Because it really makes us appreciate life. It makes us live every moment to its fullest. And this is why Scorpio energy is so deeply committed to fully experiencing their lives. And this is why they don't abide by anything shallow, right? They always want to go deeper into things. They want to experience the fullness. They experience a fullness of emotion, a fullness of passion, a fullness of intensity, because they know that this life is meant to be lived, and they understand they have a very strong understanding of their own mortality. And sometimes they become a bit overly, well, can you be overly fascinated? I guess you can be, right? Overly fascinated with no, you can't. With the unseen, right? With that which we can't see and touch and know and understand with the logical, linear, critical mind. And also just with the concept of death in general. And so we're really seeing this as an opportunity to make every moment count. One of the things that makes this human earthly experience so interesting is the fact that it is limited, right? There's a window here. There's a time frame. We are born and at some point we die. This is the natural cycle of life. So with this White Worldbridger wave spell, we are honoring those natural cycles of life, where it is that we are in our own cycle of life, right? And seeing the beauty in every aspect of that. What's coming right to mind right now while I'm thinking about this is, you know, in paganism or Wiccan traditions, they look at the divine feminine, right, as the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And so these are the three different stages of development and evolution of the feminine. And it begins with the maiden, right? But the mother and the crone are no less important and no less revered as we continue to grow in wisdom. So really appreciating the wisdom of age, right? The wisdom that is gained through our experience and through our years here, but also knowing and appreciating and understanding that our time is limited in a sense, at least in these physical bodies. Although we do know that as we are moving into this ascension, we're going to be able to live a lot longer than we do right now, right? Because all of these things that we thought were impossible are actually possible. And that includes deciding what it is that we want to move on from these physical vessels. And so as we move fully into this new earth energy, we're going to see people living for thousands of years if they so desire to do so. But even that is limited in the grand infinite scheme where we are these infinite beings. Even 1,000 years goes by like that. It slows down here and it feels longer because of this illusion of time. But it's actually not all that long, even if we do extend it by a couple thousand years. But yeah, this understanding that we only have a limited of time here to do what it is that we want to do. And one of the most dangerous traps that we fall into, I think, is this energy of procrastination, where we always think, I can do that tomorrow. right? I can call that person tomorrow. I can go try that new thing tomorrow, right? I can learn about that tomorrow. I can read that book. I can meditate tomorrow, right? And we put things off because we're always thinking, well, I have plenty of time, right? But do we really? And so this energy, this Scorpio energy, and also this white Worldbridger energy kind of challenges that. And they're like, do you really though? Wouldn't you like to make the most of the time that you do have? We don't know, right? Tomorrow is not promised, at least not in this physical vessel. So it's a very interesting energy, and we're going to read about this from a few different sources before we get into the reading. And so here we go. The White Worldbridger wave spell. It's beautiful alliteration. It's also a bit of a tongue twister. Is the 6th wave spell of the Dream Spell Journey and the 2nd wave spell of the White Northern Castle of Crossing. And remember, we have 5 castles or periods of 52 days within each spin of galactic time, and they're each made up of 4 wave spells of 13 days each. So this is the 2nd wave spell in this 2nd castle within this spin of galactic time that we've now entered. The bearer of this wave spell, Kin 66, Magnetic Worldbridger, encodes 33 plus 33. Consequently, it contains the double power of 33. And we know 33 to be a very powerful number. This is a number that represents the ascended masters, that it represents spiritual mastery in general, right? It's a double representation of the number 3, which is a number that represents that Trinity energy, the mind, the body, and the spirit, all the different Trinities. There's lots of different things that we say and think of when it comes to that Trinity energy, right? So very, very powerful and significant number, the number 33. What the Worldbridger is seal number 6, and it also codes the wave spell number 6. Therefore, the White Worldbridger wave spell represents the power of 6. And this is really interesting too, because next year is going to be a 6 year. If you add up all the numbers in 2022, it boils down to a 6. So this energy of 6, we're going to be working a lot, which is the energy of harmony. It's the energy of balance. It's also the energy that represents service. And so working with that service energy, working with that Virgo energy, right? Virgo is the 6th sign that rules the 6th house. And so, really focused and working with those energies. And if you guys, I'm sure that my friend Tommy is going to end up doing a video probably about the 6th year as we approach that a little more. He just started a YouTube channel and did his first post yesterday, and it is absolutely amazing. He's really into angel numbers and numerology and all of that. He does so many powerful things. But if you guys want to check that out, I'm going to link that video in the description box below. Go ahead, go and support him. He is so beautiful. He brings so much. He is so full of light. A lot of you guys have gotten to know him in the chats and things like that, or in the Facebook group, because, oh no, he actually gave up Facebook, so he's not on the Facebook group. He detached himself from that energy, which is incredibly healthy and incredibly admirable. But in the chats on here and stuff, many of you guys have begun to get to know him, and he's just phenomenal. So go ahead and check out and support his channel as it continues to grow. I'm not going to say anything else, but I know that there's going to be a lot of really powerful stuff that he ends up doing on there as he gets going, and I'm really excited to see how that develops. But yeah, this 6 energy is something that we really want to pay attention to. And I will get into, when we're talking about this 6 energy, they have a whole list of different things on this, and the website I'm reading off of right now is tortuga1320.com. And they mention how number 6 is the first perfect number. How, according to the book of Genesis, God took 6 days to create the world, and humankind was created on day 6. There are 6 points on the Star of David, 6 strings on a standard guitar, 6 crystal facets on each of the aspects of a double terminated quartz crystal. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. And there are 6 facets on a cube and 6 faces on a hexagon. The extrasensory perception is also referred to as the 6th sense. And the ajna, or third eye chakra, is the 6th chakra. And so a lot of interesting, kind of like the number 7, how we've played around with that before. There's a lot that we can come up with the number 6 as well. And it says the Kin 66, which codes 33 plus 33, reminds us about the power of 33 on earth and in the heavens. So working with that 3-3 energy and working with that 6 energy, very powerful. The sign of the Worldbridger comes from the original Maya glyph of Kimi, which signifies death, and it represents the Maya lord of death and the lords of the underworld. Most ancient civilizations, including the Maya, practiced the cult of the dead and the ritualistic communication with the ancestors. So a lot of powerful communication with our ancestors. When we're talking about this energy of death, we're also talking about the energy of what it is in our own lives and in our own beings that we're ready to let die. Right? We're allowing death to occur where it wants to occur so that it can fertilize those new beginnings for us. So it's a lot of releasing and letting go over these next 13 days as well. The dream spell transcreation of the Worldbridger refers to the interdimensional realm of death and the ability of crossing between both sides of the veil. In this way, the Worldbridger invites us to explore the multidimensional realms through the power of death and the guidance of our ancestors. Exactly, this refers to the sixth sense power, which manifests through the third eye, telepathy, intuition, and time travel. And so we may be experiencing some of these instances of time travel as well, or really playing around with that. And this is the goal altogether of the galactic calendar and working with galactic time, right, is to move out of linear time. And therefore, of course, time travel. So we have a lot of different energies here that work with the energy of time travel. And yes, so this video and any others I make today might get kind of interesting because I am drinking coffee, which I don't typically do. I was just really in the mood for it. It's really chilly where I am right now. And it's like a comfort drink. You know, it makes you feel good. It brings back all of those memories. We are going to be in that sort of comfort, that energy of seeking comfort, I think, in some ways as we move through the days here as well. Because we are, once we get through, or I don't want to say get through, like I'm actually really looking forward to the Scorpio new moon. Even though you guys know how I feel about Scorpio moons being a Cancer rising and so sensitive to the moons. But I am really looking forward to this one because this is such a massive portal. I can't wait to see what happens in the full moon or the new moon manifesting ceremony. But then we're building up to that full moon, which is in Taurus, right? So those are those energies of comfort. So the affirmation for White Magnetic Worldbridger, which is Kin 66, which is the energy that kicks off this wave spell, is: I unify in order to equalize, attracting opportunity. I seal the store of death with the magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. And I am going to put in the description box below, as usual, where you can go through and ask yourself the questions for each day and the sort of description of how each of the galactic signatures of each day plays into the White Worldbridger energy from Astro Dream Advisor. So that will be in the description box below for you guys. And we are, of course, going to read from the Astro Dream Advisor because it has the most fantastic descriptions of these galactic signatures. So, talking about White Worldbridger energy. In this lifetime, you're being asked to release and surrender. Surrender is the opposite of giving up. It is freeing yourself from the desire to be in control, letting go of how you think things should be. Surrender is freedom. You are being invited to release yourself from the bondage of preconceived action, to let everything be all right as it is so that you can live a more inspired life in the moment. You are being asked to take action in the process of surrender and release. You are requested to die a symbolic death to surrender your limiting beliefs. Symbolic death unveils the self by cutting away the outgrown parts of yourself that no longer serve you. In such death, ego structures fall away to reveal the garden of the true self. Look for new ways of being, new people, new ideas, and new directions that will move into the vacuum created through surrender and release. Like yeast, surrender enlivens and empowers you to experience more of life's fullness. And we are, as we said, really reviewing those limiting beliefs that want to be released as we move towards that new moon eclipse in Sagittarius that will be kicking off on December 4th. So really this energy, noticing and paying attention, a lot of those belief systems over these next 13 days are probably going to be coming to the surface in order to be recognized and released if it is necessary to do so. Holding on to past patterns and grievances only limits the possibilities. Forgive yourself, forgive others, let go. Surrender whatever limits you. Face whatever you are resisting. In the experience of any loss, it is never too late to complete. Through your willingness to walk in the dark forest, insights and revelations will naturally emerge. White Worldbridger teaches you to let go and be. It represents the death of outgrown parts of the small self, which can be used as fodder or fuel for the regeneration into a more expanded self. The energy that is generated from the transformation of these parts creates a refinement of your spirit. Also, by burning off the dross of the small self, a vacuum is created, drawing new people, ideas, and directions into your life. And I really love this energy of being and this energy of transformation and death, right? Because that's the Taurus-Scorpio axis right there, which we are getting a preview of the energies of this month, as these are the primary energies we're going to be working with as we move into 2022. We've talked about this, how all the eclipses are happening along the Taurus-Scorpio axis, and the nodes are moving into Taurus and Scorpio. So really powerful. And that North node is going to be in Taurus, right? So that is the energy of being. So that's the energy we're moving towards. That energy of being present, being focused, being... And this is when we're talking about time travel, right? How do we travel through time? How do we travel interdimensionally? From the now moment, in the now moment. And we can only be in the now moment if we are fully present. So big, really important energies there. In the past, an old behavior or belief system may have created a way for you to temporarily feel better about yourself by supporting your ego structure. As that ego structure is burned off, you create a pathway for spirit to fully satisfy the same needs. Through your willingness to walk in the dark forest, the gifts of insight and revelation are provided. Accept the truth of your present situation, and this is all stuff that's been coming up in the reading, so it's so perfect, right? Taking those masks off, facing that truth, the uncomfortable truth that we haven't wanted to look at. Through accepting what is, you are free to go forward. Remember, acceptance is the energy of alchemy. Change and growth become easier and more natural. Each experience in this enlivened state of surrender allows for more joy. The color for White Worldbridger is forest green. You, like the symbol of the evergreen tree, are alive and green amidst the process of apparent death and transformation of winter. Green creates a feeling of balance and restful calm. It is restorative and healing, grounding and centering. If you wish to access the power of White Worldbridger, visualize forest green. So I really like that energy of the visualizing of forest green. All right, let's see. What else do we want to... Is there anything else we want to talk about before we start the reading? I don't think there is. I think we've covered it all. All right, so where are we? I feel like we've been doing a lot of the dark gothic cards, and I don't want to kind of have like overkill with that. I am being drawn to the, what is this? The Tarot of Dreams. Clear. So let's get some energy from the Tarot of Dreams for this White Worldbridger wave spell. And dreams, as I said that, the word dreams felt significant. I feel like people are going to be having some very interesting dreams during this wave spell. You're probably already starting to. I know a lot of people have said that. So just pay attention to those dreams. And they also want me to talk about the fact that we are doing so much in our dream state right now. There is so much happening. We're really getting to work in our dream state. And so a lot of people may be feeling that extra tiredness that comes with that. So just know that it's because you're doing so much. So really take care of yourself. Right, like we think everybody, watching this channel, right? Obviously, we are here to help bring about the new earth, and we sometimes have this idea that that's just what we're doing down here. We're also doing it in the other dimensions as well, right? We are multidimensional. That means we exist in multiple dimensions at once, and so there's a lot more going on than what you can see. All right, so we have the Knight of Pentacles coming out first. This is slow, steady progress, but also patience, right? The Knight is the slowest knight in the deck, but he is committed towards where it is, the direction that he wants to go. And then, all right, so we have the Nine of Swords coming out. And so this is like nightmares. This is being up at night. This is stressing. And so some people, like, this is energy that we may be experiencing this during this next 13 days. This energy of not being able to sleep. This energy also when we're talking about dreams, right? Experiencing psychic attacks in our dreams. A lot of people have been experiencing that more and more because these lower vibratory energies, they don't necessarily want to leave, right? And some of them the ascension doesn't benefit them, right? Not as they are right now, because they can't exist in that energy. So they want to keep us in this energy, and they're also just drawn to our light, right? They're drawn to our light, which is ironic, because you would think that our light would repel them, but in some ways it attracts them, because there's an aspect of them that remembers that that's what they once were too. So it's interesting. But we really want to be shielding and protecting ourselves during our dream time. Like we said, we're also doing a lot of really important things in our dreams. So if these energies can kind of hop in during our dream time, there are things that they seek to do. It's like our defenses are down, because we're not even, like, our soul essence may not even fully be present in our bodies sometimes, because it's actually going off. It's not just the multidimensional aspects of ourselves. It's like this dimensional self is off in other dimensions and stuff too. So there can be an energy of vulnerability. It's like, especially if we are doing things that lower our vibration, that just makes us extra vulnerable. So we really want to pay attention to this. And we want to be shielding ourselves before we go to sleep, just setting that intention, setting that psychic shield, asking our guides and our team, our angels, to reinforce that for us. I always also ask that my astral body be protected, that my personal Merkaba, which is the chariot of ascension, it is the spaceship, if you will, within our energy body that allows us to travel between dimensions safely, that be reinforced, and that they guide and watch over all aspects of my being as I sleep. So that's a really important thing to do. Because these energies, it's like with this Knight of Pentacles here, it's like they're trying to slow us down, right? And anywhere where we're picking up on this energy, this stressful energy from the collective as well, that's slowing us down. It's weighing us down. It's like a heaviness to it. And so that's why we want to be clearing ourselves as well. Like this, the veil, like we said, is very thin right now. And so this is a good thing, but it can also be not as beneficial of a thing if we're not taking care of ourselves properly. And really, like we said, shielding ourselves. All right, tell me more about this. All right. Now we have the Palace of Coins, which is that Pentacles energy. So this is really interesting. And so it's also like fears and anxieties coming to the surface. And I feel like some of these fears and anxieties that are maybe coming to the surface for people, some of these limiting beliefs, right, may have to do with our ability to make forward progress, with our ability to create, to manifest, to find this stability, right? We may be feeling very unstable. There's really this energy of needing to acknowledge, right? And this is perfect with this white Worldbridger energy, with this also Scorpio energy that we have in the air, with this all of this, right? All of these energies, to acknowledge the dark parts of ourselves, to acknowledge the hidden fears, because that's really what's going to help us root out these belief systems as well. Like what I'm noticing here is these mushrooms. And it's really interesting because there's a type of mushroom, I can't remember the name of it. I actually watched a show on it once. It was really fascinating. But it's a certain mushroom that only grows in specific places that people eat for the experience of it. But what it does is it takes you into your darkness. It takes you into your shadow. That's the kind of journey that specific mushroom, it's like Amanita, something Amanita, takes you on. And that's what those look to me right now. And with this next to this card, it's really like that journey into our darkness. We are taking, it's not just like the outer forces, right? If there is such thing as outer. But it's the inner journey as well. We're really being guided because that's where all of this abundance lives, is when we're willing to go into our darkness and shine a light on it. Yeah, and I'm noticing the moon is full here too. So these energies really building as we move toward that full moon. Interesting. Anything else? It's like people feeling like worried because things are progressing and moving so slowly. And it's bringing up a lot of fears and anxieties. But part of why that's happening too, part of why things may even be slowing down for some people, is to bring up these fears and anxieties, to bring up these limiting belief systems so they can be released, so that we can take care of them. And if you guys want assistance with this, please reach out to me. It is one of the things that I do, one of the services that I offer. We work with this energy of belief systems and Theta healing. It's very, very powerful. We get to the root. We do a meditative session where we do some talking and we get to the root and the creation of these belief systems, and then we actually have the creator go in and pull them and replace them and download us with new belief systems and feelings. Because a lot of times we don't have the experience of knowing what certain things feel like. So it's difficult to create a new belief system, like something that has to do with joy, if we don't know what joy is, if we've never felt it, if we've never experienced it. And a lot of times we also think we've experienced things, but it's been a distorted version. So we can receive from the creator what that actually feels like in its pure form. So it's really beautiful, really powerful. All right, then we have the star coming out. So this is that healing. This is the healing. This is also our psychic gifts. So a lot of people being very psychically activated during this wave spell, especially with that new moon in Scorpio happening right before. So a lot of those activations coming through. Remember, this is where a lot of this energy is within the 1111 portal. All right. And that new moon really feels like a huge kind of gateway of energy, a huge portal energy in and of itself that is then bringing us through to the 1111 portal official date of that, which of course is the 11th. But a lot of activation. You see how she's pouring the rainbow light, and then you see how that beautiful rainbow light is turning into this beautiful white light, right? So notice that and think about that. This is, of course, a card that represents Aquarius energy, the star right here. But it's that beautiful, it's like the rainbow bridge, the rainbow light body. So major, major activations and major healing that is available to us. But it's also that level, and we talked about this. I forget what video it was, but we talked about this energy of standing naked in front of ourselves. Right? How the vulnerability, getting truly vulnerable with ourselves, getting truly brutally honest with ourselves. That's how this healing happens. So I think it's no coincidence that she is naked in this card. Yeah, anything else here? We have the Page of Wands coming out with the Eight of Swords. And she's also naked. Isn't that interesting? So this is that energy once again of being really vulnerable, and it's like healing from the energy. Especially, right, with the page, this is youthful energy, right? Especially some of the energies in our youth, in our younger years, with this fire, wands are fire energy, right? Where we put our fire out, or where people in situations put our fire out, right? Where is it that we learned to be less than what we are? Where is it that we learned that we had to hide who we were? Where is it that we learned that we had to protect ourselves from a cruel and uncaring world? That we had to deny our passions, deny our truth? That it was wrong to be who we are? Yeah, that's it right there. Where was it that we learned that it was wrong to be who we are? And you would be surprised how many people have this belief. So yeah, it's this energy of, it's almost like some people, It's like your comfort zone is being pierced during this energy, so that you can get truly vulnerable and you can reconnect. Like, ultimately what this is going to do is reconnect you with your passion, reconnect you with your fire. But it's noticing where it was and when it was that you put that fire out, and why. Yeah. Okay. We also have the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. And then we have the King of Wands under that. So I really love that, because this is the evolution from the Page to the King. And it's this process of self-realization, right? This awakening process that the Hermit represents, which is Virgo energy, right? So coming back to that Virgo energy again. And it's through this. And you know what's really interesting, though, is this ball right here is reminding me of this ball that she's trapped in here. Right? That she's hiding in. So it's like all of this pain, all of this suffering it was part of the illumination process that developed this wisdom, that taught us what we needed to know, that helped to make us who we have become. But we don't have to hold on to the trauma of that, and we don't have to reenact it now. But some of those old wounds definitely coming up to the surface. But it's like the truth and the clarity around that, right? Because notice these swords are piercing this bubble and they're full of light. Yeah, so definitely revelations and then new beginnings. But it's not necessarily looking like it's going to be a comfortable cycle, right? Because we are coming face to face with our truth. Illumination is not comfortable, right? This is why the Hermit is called the Hermit. He goes within. He retreats in order to recharge, in order to get clear, in order to clear his energy, to clear his mind, to better understand his life's journey. Yeah, so there may be a lot of that energy. It's like this energy of pulling back into ourselves, mixed with this energy of bursting outward. We talked about this a little bit, that back and forth kind of energy with all of the passion of Scorpio, but then also with this energy and this tendency to withdraw at the same time. I want to pull some Zodiac of the 108 cards here. Clear. Any guidance or... yeah, any guidance for this wave spell, this white Worldbridger wave spell? We have Olive Branch coming out. Making amends. Truce. De-escalating. Coming to terms. Let's get a couple other cards to go with the Olive Branch. Okay. So we have the Person of Water. We have the Labyrinth. And we have Happening Now. All right. So, during this wave spell, there may be people who are mending situations, right? There may be people coming asking for forgiveness, making amends, for making peace offerings or amends for actions and behaviors in the past. That really, with this Person of Water energy, this emotional energy here, things that really harmed you. So situations or people, right, that really harmed you, that put you in this energy. Coming forward, especially in situations where, really complicated situations, or where there were really complicated emotions and feelings involved. And especially if these people were people that dropped out of our lives for a time. They may be coming back around, or we may be guided to reach back out to them and sort of mend fences, or at least come to some sort of closure during these next 13 days. Yeah, anything else about that? So there's like a level of healing that's possible here. So we have the train coming out with the corset. Moving on, moving forward. And boundaries. Okay? So, yeah, if there is, like, in regards to these situations, this healing of situations here, these healing of relationships and energies, of friendships, of whatever, right? There's definitely an energy of moving forward and possibly moving on. And for many, this is going to be the energy of learning how to, like, a test or of our ability to uphold our boundaries now. Where possibly in the past, with in these situations, we didn't have very strong boundaries. And that was part of the reason that things happened the way that they did. And now we do. So we get to practice that art of forgiveness, but we also get to uphold those strong boundaries at the same time. Yeah. And continuing to move forward. This doesn't necessarily look like reconciliation for people in relationships, but it could be for some. It could be for some. You could be moving on together. But I feel a lot of people, it's just allowing you to move on. Right? Like we said, that closure energy. Yeah. And then we have the crystal ball coming out. This is all about intuition. This is all about discernment and perception, divination, foresight, inner knowings. Tell me more about the crystal ball here. Interesting. So we have coming out here the bird cage, which is all about desiring freedom, this energy of being trapped. And baggage, right? Unresolved issues, heavy burdens. So all of those, it's like this energy of having this clearer insight and understanding around those energies that keep us trapped, right? Those energies that we've held on to that we're ready to release and let go of so that we can experience that freedom and we can move on to the next phase of our lives. And that next phase with the grapes is abundance, harvest, prosperity, fullness, right? This is what we're moving towards. We're getting the insight and the intuition that allows us to identify what needs to be released and let go of, what is actually holding us in bondage, right? That we may not have even been aware of. And really letting that go, right? Letting that die, as we talk about with this wave spell, so that we can move forward. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of energy of moving on here. The biker, one of the things this represents too, is moving on. So a lot of people are going to be moving on during this wave spell. Moving past, receiving closure, letting go, tying up loose ends. So a lot of that energy, a lot of deep healing that's going to allow us to do so as well. So really beautiful, really powerful wave spell here that we are embarking upon. I hope that you guys, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to do. I'm going to pull, to close, I'm going to pull from the Quantum Oracle. And I am going to be doing a reading. It's probably going to be a pick-a-pile with this deck. Because this deck is awesome. Clear. My friend Tommy got this for me. And it's really incredible. And I'm very excited to do readings with it. So we're going to get some closing energy for this White Worldbridger energy. This White Worldbridger wave spell from the Quantum Oracle. What guidance do we have? What's going on? What cycles are we closing out? What are we releasing? What are we bringing in? I like to keep it pretty open-ended when I ask questions because they tell me they talk about what they want to talk about anyway. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you guys. This is very reminiscent of the readings, the Halloween reading that we did and a couple others that we've done. What cycles are we closing? What are we letting go of? We have Behind a Mask. right? And we have dark thoughts. So these are the energies that we're moving through, right? And you notice how they're walking into a maze here. It's understanding the way that our mind becomes a maze when we allow it to run away with us. And we have intention and consciousness as the categories here. Yeah, so it's this intention with this behind the mask. Where is it that we have played a role? Right? How have we conditioned ourselves to hide who we truly are? This energy is also about comparing ourselves to others, of not feeling good enough, right? Of feeling like we have to be or portray ourselves a certain way in order to be loved, in order to be appreciated, right? All the different ways that we play small. So that's an energy, that's a cycle that we're moving out of. And this cycle of really allowing the mind to get away with us. And we know that we've been working on mastery of the mind throughout 2020. What year is it? 2021. All right, so let's see. I want to look at this consciousness card here. This dark thoughts. But these are the energies. We may see a resurgence of these dark thoughts as we're in this intensity of energy, especially with all this energy of death and mortality, right? This energy of connection with our ancestors, but also for a lot of us, the people that we perceive as having lost being on our minds, right? But we know that we never truly lose anyone, because death is only an illusion, right? We're transitioning from one state of being to another. Let's see. This card may be a signal that you could be drawn into questionable activities, perhaps with unsavory people. Look closely at any new endeavors in your life and at the people with whom you connect. Investigate your choices. Tune into your intuition to determine if they truly honor you and if each endeavor truly resonates with your heart. Right? And this is important as we are exploring and getting acquainted with our dark side, just to be wary of this. The most important dark alleys you should be aware of at this time, however, here we go, are the twisting patterns of negative thoughts or unhealthy habits winding through your daily life. Worrisome thinking or escapist behavior may be lifelong habits, but it's time for you to take control. So this is where we're really looking at those habits as well, the physical ways that these darker thoughts and our minds running amok, the ways that they present themselves in our outer reality, right? The choices that we make, the habits, the patterns, addictions, different things like this really coming into focus for us. And areas where these tendencies may have been present that we didn't notice because we were wearing a mask even to ourselves, or we were in denial. It's that energy of coming out of denial. Manage your negative thoughts. Create healthier habits such as nutritious eating, regular exercise, and relaxation. Don't let yourself go deeper down the dark alleys of fear, worry, and self-doubt, especially when we're in this 1111 manifestation gateway, you guys. Your thoughts are so powerful right now. Do not let them run away with you and take you down. Don't let them take you through this maze, right? We go up, right? We don't have to wander through that. Your life force vibrates with your daily energy, and you do have the power to determine the direction it takes. Choose a path of bright thoughts and healthy choices and leave the dark alleys, both real and imagined, behind. I don't know why I just flashed the book to you guys, but whatever. Yeah, and on the bottom of the deck we have teacher. So some people, you may have a teacher coming into your life at this time to help you navigate or help you understand things better. And this could be like a literal teacher, a mentor. This could also be a soul that enters your life for the possibility of teaching you a lesson. All right. And this could also be, there's like karmic energy here too. So this could be where you're getting a better understanding of the karmic teachers, the karmic soulmates that you've had and experienced in your life, what it is that they taught you, what it is that they gave you, and really releasing that energy, right? Moving forward. Yes. And then we have happy success. So that's beautiful. That's what we're moving towards, right? This is the energy that we're moving towards. But we got to move. The only way out is through. The only way to is through, right? So we got to keep moving forward, and we've got to acknowledge the things that need to be acknowledged, right? We can't repress and suppress. That doesn't work. Remember, our subconscious minds are what dictate our reality. And so we have to be aware of what's going in the subconscious. We have to reprogram that subconscious mind if we want to experience this in our reality. So when that stuff is coming to the surface, invite it to the surface. Examine it, understand it, integrate it, right? Because that's how we alchemize it. Ooh, and this is beautiful. On the bottom of the deck, underneath happy success, was angels of the four directions. So I'm going to read that to close right there. I'm telling you guys, this deck is so cool. And I was looking at it myself, but I kind of overlooked it. And I didn't really fully connect with its value, but Tommy told me that it kept calling to him for me. And yeah, it's just really, it's awesome, you guys. We're going to have some fun with this. So this says, the light of an angel reaches out in every direction. Upright or reverse, this card indicates a powerful connection taking place at this time. The upright position reveals the dynamic presence of archangels Uriel and Raphael. Uriel, the angel of the north, is a source of immensely valuable inspiration. If you're working on a creative project or if you just need some new ideas on some old issues, Uriel is ready to and willing to help. This angel connects you to the universal energy and Akashic information that exists all around you. So call on Uriel to leave any dark confusion behind and bring the insight you require at this time. This fire of God will certainly light up your life. The next messenger in this upright card is Raphael, the angel of the east. This wonderful angel supports you with matters of love, healing, children, and relationships. So invite his presence to help resolve your love and relationship issues and to bring the physical healing you desire. The energy of this angel is so powerful, he is often called the miracle worker. When you receive this card upright, you know that it's time to open your heart and your life to Raphael's loving assistance. The miracle you seek is closer than you think. I really like that. That's, I think, the closing guidance that they want to impart. The miracle you seek is closer than you think. And so this is this energy like, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. It's closer than you think. It's right at your fingertips. All right, so keep moving forward. And this also, I think, is the angels coming through. I do angelic healing as well. And so if any of you are desiring that, or you're really drawn to working with the angels more, also if you're desiring a closer relationship with the angels and you're wanting to pursue a healing modality, I teach Belvaspata, the Angelic Healing of the Heart. It's an incredibly powerful modality that was gifted to us to aid in this ascension process. I think I'm going to do a separate video about it pretty soon because it's so important and so powerful. And I think everybody can benefit from having a Belvaspata session, if not learning Belvaspata themselves. And just, it helps to increase the frequency of this planet so much every time it's practiced. So yeah, I think I am going to do a separate video on that. But yes, I do. I'm feeling that with this angel card, really feeling called to mention that. If there's people who are seeking a deeper connection with the angels and the healing that they bring. But remember, they're always ready and willing to bring you energy. You don't need any type of fancy healing modality to do it, especially during these beautiful energies that we have when the veil is so thin. Just sit there, be open to receive, connect with them through that heart space. And your ancestors as well. There's a lot of deep ancestral healing going on right now, you guys. All right. I'm going to let you go for now. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment. Let me know how these videos are resonating, how it is that you guys are doing, how you're feeling these energies. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to donate to the channel. And there are also, there's a whole list of the different services that I offer, as well as my email if you want to reach out to me. You guys are amazing. You're so beautiful. I love you. I appreciate you. Happy White Worldbridger wave spell. It's going to be a good one.